This is my first ever video about any ARPG, so let me drop a little disclaimer about my experience with these types of games. I've played a lot of Diablo 3, a bit of Diablo 2, not because I didn't enjoy it, simply because I played at a friend's house many years ago and have never gotten around to buying my own copy. I have played an amount of Path of Exile, maybe slightly past what you'd call beginner, having played a couple of seasons. I also played an absurd amount of Record of Ladolf's War with Sega Dreamcast, and a whole lot of Champions of Norath and Champions Return to Arms on the PlayStation 2. Oh, and you best believe I played a shitload of Gauntlet Legends and Dark Legacy, as my name might suggest. Not sure Gauntlet really counts as an ARPG though. All in all, I sit somewhere in the middle of the player base. Giga Chad no-lifers would probably call me a filthy casual, while casual mom and dad gamers would likely say just the opposite. Game is real fun. It's vastly more fun to level a character in Diablo 4 than it ever was in Diablo 3. I didn't expect to like the open pseudo MMO style world, but it's actually pretty fun running into other players in the wild. It's easy enough to just ignore them if that's what you'd prefer, and you're not seeing them constantly at all, but it's yet to be a negative experience so far for me. I've actually leveled twice while AFK from other players killing things nearby me. At least I assume. They weren't near enough for me to see them, so... Worth mentioning that you get a small experience boost just from being near other players. Not just group, by the way. Just near. Oh, I'm totally with Asmon on the idea of having raids, by the way. Give it a shot one season, Blizzard. If it doesn't work, move on and never think about it again. On the other hand, if it does work, you might completely redefine what a modern ARPG even is, and in doing so, totally allowing Diablo 4 to live up to and beyond its pedigree. The classes that I've spent the most time with are Necromancer, Rogue, and Barbarian, each of which I have around 50-ish, and they're all a lot of fun in their own ways. Though I have played a little bit of each class, up to like around 12-ish I think on Druid and 20 on Sorcerer. I also lost a 20-ish hardcore Barbarian to the Butcher in the first dungeon I ever ran with them. The game is surprisingly well balanced. Every build I've tried has felt usable, not always amazing, looking at you Druid, and sometimes Rogue to be perfectly honest, but playable nonetheless. Also, Blizzard just rolled out buffs across the board that I haven't really sunk my teeth into yet, but they seem great. I think you should play the class that most speaks to you. Think about the class fantasy and how it will feel to play them. Do you want to spin to win with a roided out barb all the way to a only 4-tab bank? Or do you want to force the corpses of your dead enemies to work for you as you squeeze a few gear drops next to all the gems in your inventory? I recommend playing around with your builds. Don't just net deck the best option. These skill trees aren't so complicated as to be unparsable by really anyone, and they're balanced well enough to honestly not really matter if you make a few suboptimal choices. Respecs are also quite cheap, and it's easy to tweak bits of your build at any time, so there's really no excuse. Well, except maybe if you're playing hardcore, but I'd still recommend experimentation, just maybe not in dungeons and the like. When I realized I could trust the game's balance, and I allowed myself to play more with my heart instead of my number crunchy min-maxy brain, the sheer joy that manifested reminded me of how we used to play games 20 years ago. I'm honestly blown away by how well Blizzard seems to be listening to us. I thought they lost this capacity way back when Activision bought them. Not to mention there actually being some pretty great armor cosmetics totally free and unlockable from playing the game. Like, what fucking year is this? How did y'all slip this past Bobby? There is an in-game cosmetic shop, but it actually doesn't feel like its existence hamstrung the unlockable options at all. The prices in that shop are, well, let's just say, not for me. Anyway, I'm not telling you what to do at endgame. By all means, play how you like at any point. I'm just saying the game is actually well made, and you can get away with most anything, allowing a truly fantastic and personal journey to the endgame for those willing to proverbially trust fall into the game. After all, the journey is where ARPGs truly shine, right? I get that many of you watching this have already leveled higher than me with at least one character, and I know the advice I'm giving seems a bit well, late. But there's still time. Season 1 is likely to start in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm simply suggesting that you craft your next build yourself. You may find it the most fun you've had playing Diablo 4 yet. So yeah, fuck anybody who thinks that we shouldn't start fresh characters in new seasons. If you're new to seasonal ARPG play, I understand your trepidation, but believe me when I tell you the potential for fun is sky high, my friend. Plus, if a season flops for you, that's fine. Just drop it. Come back next time. All I ask is that you give this style of seasonal play a fair chance, but as always, only play if you are enjoying the game. It really is okay if you're not. Brace yourselves. I'm about to release a controversial opinion. Renown in seasons should, at the very least, partially reset. But how you get that renown should be different, or at least augmented, in some way each season. I'd even be cool with having to re-clear the map again, if it also meant the map comes with some minor changes. But this bit is certainly not a hill that I'd die on. I completely understand wanting to keep it cleared. The renown though, imagine getting renown for interacting with the new seasonal mechanics. Fuck, dude, it could be so fucking good if they tune the amount that you need just right on a season by season basis. That's it, folks. I'm fucking loving Diablo 4 and I hope that you are too. Drop me a comment, let me know what your build's focused on. If you want to chat about Dim Dablos, stop by my channel on Twitch sometime. Links below in the description. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, and for being just generally fucking rad. Imagine if Necromancer had a spirit wall skill that doubled their speed, where they just walk out of their body. And when they're ready to fight again, they just build a new body around themselves. That would be so badass, dude. Class fantasy is king, man. I'm telling you.